This is an information video about Mr. Elwing's grade 11 CST math class. I want to start off by telling you a little bit about who I am. My educational background is that I studied math, physics, and education at McGill University in Montreal, and a few years ago I completed a master's degree in educational studies at Concordia. I've been teaching for about 19 years. I taught for 10 years at Centennial Academy in Montreal. I've been at Selwyn House for the last 8 years, and I worked for 1 year in northern Quebec out of Kuujjuaq, and I included that picture because it's so cool. Look at the icicles on my eyes. And personally, I also work in boys' education every day around the clock because I have 2 boys of my own. This is Stevie and this is Jack. And a little bit more about the grade 11 CST course. It's designed to give students an overview of many different mathematical topics. And because they are so varied, it means that there are fewer topics total, which gives students an opportunity to really focus on the ones that we're doing and to do super well if they're keeping up with the work. But it means that they've got to keep on their toes and especially keep up with everything because the topics are so different from one to the next. There are a lot of changing gears between units. So on that note, it's important that students keep up with their work, and that's the number one expectation in my classroom, that students work hard all the time. I want students to be respectful at all times, and it's important that they not give up, and that's very closely related to number one, but because there are such different topics, it is normal that at some point in the year, students will come across a topic that is challenging or difficult, and if they're able to work through that, they will be better students, better mathematicians, and much more successful in the course. And I will do everything that I can to help them accomplish that. Day to day, class will normally start with a warm-up or a recap question of something we've done in the past. Students will always have an opportunity to check their work and ask questions about the previous day's homework. We'll go through some new content. And typically I'll give students an opportunity to start their new work in class that if they are not able to finish will be homework. And that homework, as well as a bunch of other things, will all be posted on my Selwyn. So I wanted to give you a little overview of where to find the important stuff. Under the topics tab, all the topics of the year are already posted, and most of them have some content. And I'll update it with the new content that we go through. This is obviously an old version, but there are already some notes and PowerPoint slideshows and video lessons. So if anybody wants to preview, or if they've missed a class and want to find the content, that's where that will be. Under the assignments tab, again, this is an old version, but daily homework will be there. Any assignments that we do throughout the year. Quizzes will be posted with a couple of days notice, and tests will be posted there at least a week in advance. And at the start of the year, I'll also email. So that's probably just for the first test or two. Email parents and students just to keep everyone in the loop and make sure that everyone's organized. But after the first couple, it'll be your responsibility to check that and keep up to date. In terms of homework, it will be assigned just about every day that we have math class. It's important that you take a little bit of time to practice the stuff that we're doing outside of class. Let everything sink in. We'll have quizzes about once per week, and that's to make sure that I know if anybody is falling behind, and also because it means that each quiz is worth a lot less. It sort of takes the pressure off, and it should be more for feedback than for grades. And we'll have 1 to 2 tests per unit. And like I said, that will always be posted about a week in advance. And if anybody is looking for extra help to prepare for those quizzes or tests, we have math tutorials every Monday and Wednesday in the Macaulay basement. And you can email me at any time as well if you have any questions. I'm pretty good at responding to those. And if those are both not possible at a given moment, there's a link on my Selwyn as well to a bunch of math department resources that include some PowerPoints, some video lessons, things that might be helpful if you can't get your question answered sometime after a tutorial time. And in terms of grading, the breakdown of grades in math is the same in grade 11 CST as it is in all the math classes in senior school. And the breakdown of the terms is the same. In this course, the weighting of that mathematical reasoning mark is the following. Tests are worth about 70%, quizzes 20, and participation 10. And every term I'll drop the worst quiz mark, just in case you had a bad day. On an individual basis, whichever one is your worst, I will drop. So if you have any questions about this or anything, feel free to email me, and I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. And I'm looking forward to a great year. Thank you. Bye-bye.